And then we come to the actual historical records for those who are interested to research more on Tipu. Then that is the other irony. Look around you, there is a wealth of historical records that still exist, which shows the exact opposite of what Tipu is portrayed. And some of these records are written by Tipu's own contemporaries and by his own biographer. So I'll give you a partial list. Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan by Levin B. Bowring, Mysore Gazetteer Volume 1 and 2, Selected Letters of Tipu Sultan by Colonel William Kirkpatrick, Nishan E. Haidari by Mir Hussain Ali Kirmani, who was Tipu's official biographer, the Malabar Manual by William Logan, and some British archives at Fort St. George and Fort St. Williams. So, in spite of availability of all these, tons of documents, these are primary sources that tell you the real story of that period. It is astonishing that Tipu is still hailed as a patriot and tiger and whatever, that this notion, this image of Tipu still persists. So I'll list out a few key features of Tipu's rule. It was a regime of military and economic terror. It was characterized by unnecessary destructive raids throughout South India, most notably in Malabar and Coorg. And it was also notable for the sheer scale of rural destruction. Entire villages, towns, countryside, they were all completely burnt. In, for example, Kushalnagar, Talakaveri, Madikeri, Napoklu. So when you travel to Coorg from Mysore, you get all these major towns and villages completely burnt to the ground. And Calicut or Kozhikode was burnt to the ground, as I just told you. This Calicut was a hub of spice trade for several centuries, and Tipu's just one destructive raid changed its character forever, and spice trade there came to a permanent halt for nearly 40 to 50 years. And all these places were entirely depopulated. There's no human habitation after this guy invaded, and those few of them who survived, the weak and old, all these people, women, they were forcibly converted or killed brutally. So another key feature of Tipu's rule was the large-scale destruction of Hindu temples. You look at the Malabar Manual, it gives you a detailed list of all such temples, and I have listed only about 56 in my book, just the major ones that were destroyed. So Lewis Rice writes in his Mysore Gazetteer, and I quote, "In the vast empire of Tipu Sultan, on the eve of his death, there were only 2 Hindu temples having daily functional pujas. Only 2. Tipu also Islamized almost every facet of his administration by A, giving Muslim names to original Hindu cities and towns. Sakleshpur was called Manjarabad. Thankfully, it was changed back. So he changed the units of measurement of weights, distance and time so that it corresponded to some aspect of Prophet Muhammad's life. He founded a new calendar and he named each year after a synonym given to Muhammad. And he changed the official administrative language of the Mysore kingdom from Kannada to Farsi. So that Farsi was not real Farsi, and I'll come to that in a bit. Other key features is the complete devastation of Mysore state's economy through reckless and expensive, unprovoked military campaigns. He appointed incompetent officers to key posts, and the only qualification to occupy these bureaucratic posts was that you had to be a Muslim, and bonus, if you were a Hindu who converted, you got a fast-track promotion. And all his wanton attacks, I just mentioned some of, I'll add some other places which he attacked. Travancore, Nizam of Hyderabad, Gutti Adoni in Andhra Pradesh, Coorg, Malabar, Bijapur, Raichur, that Krishna Godavari belt. And he also had a habit of, repeatedly dishonoring war treaties and peace treaties with the British and other rulers of South India. So I'll read out a longish quote just to show you a very, very brief glimpse into the nature of Tipu's aggression, his invasions. And here is an eyewitness account by Father Bartholomew. Quote, first a corps of 30,000 barbarians who butchered everybody on the way, followed by the field gun unit. Tipu was riding on an elephant behind which another army of 30,000 soldiers followed. Most of the men and women were hanged in Calicut. First mothers were hanged with the children tied to their necks. The barbarian Tipu Sultan tied naked Christians and Hindus to the legs of elephants and made the elephants move around till the bodies of the helpless victims were torn to pieces. Temples and churches were ordered to be burned down, desecrated and destroyed. Hindu women were forced to marry Mohammedans, and similarly their men were forced to marry Mohammedan women. Those Christians and Hindus who refused to be honored with Islam were ordered to be killed by hanging immediately. And then we have another eyewitness account by a German Christian missionary named Guntest, and he says, accompanied by an army of 60,000, Tipu Sultan came to Kozhikode, Calicut in 1788 and razed it to the ground. It is not even possible to describe the brutalities committed by that Islamic barbarian from Mysore.